With even something as simple as like grabbing the corner of a building and pulling
Imagina jogar este jogo assim. Será que ele está aqui? Pau!
your camera, your head over and kind of leaning and peeking to see an enemy. We've even built in things like cracks and holes in the walls.
Parecia. Tudo com as patas voladas! Xodra, bravo!
Player to basically first game
Tu compraste jogo, então? Vou jogar o Assassin's Creed VR.
in VR for Assassin's Creed. So it's the first time that you can play Assassin's Creed in first person. It's the first time you can play multiple assassins in the same game. So across 3 different settings, 3 different assassins, and the full range of iconic AC actions like Hidden Blade, Stealth, Combat, Leap of Faith, Parkour, Climbing, throwing knives, all these types of weapons, the Tomahawk.
Isto aqui deve-te dar um. Foda. Tens de jogar em pé e depois parece que cais. Eu já o jogo, o Alpha, eu parei de jogar porque aquilo deixava-me mal disposto para
Connor,
caralho.
all of that stuff we put in the game because we really wanted to make it a true AC experience.
A qualidade é que é um bocado duvidosa, parece no PlayStation 2, não é?
Parkour is obviously one of the iconic AC actions that we think players are going to be really excited to do in Nexus. Running across the rooftops in large open urban areas is something that
Imagina jogar isto e a correr por a casa a subir aqui as árvores. Subir a cama, o sofá.
really is so fundamental to the brand that I didn't feel like we could compromise on it. So the team has done some amazing technical wizardry to allow the player to basically approach all these maps from 360 degrees. You can see it, you can climb it, you can parkour it. So from Venice to Greece to Boston and even new areas like Newport for Connor, they're all what we call open map environments. The player can traverse on the ground, scale the walls, climb the rooftops.
VR allows you to
Quanto é que custa
perceive depth in the environment beyond, when you play on a TV screen, on a normal screen. This is really defining for Assassin's Creed and the way you can look at the environment and see all obstacles and buildings and basically everything you can see that you think you can grab on, you can in-game. So it's really intuitive as well and organic.
When you look at the world in Nexus, you see basically handholds, 90-degree surfaces that you can grab. So you're actually using your hands, you're pulling yourself up the side of the building.
Não existe.
There's flinging, so you can actually throw yourself up sideways, even backwards, like across a street, which is really cool to do. There's sort of feet-to-feet jumps where you're landing and you keep going. Then there's feet-to-grab jumps, so you jump, you have to grab, mantle, and
Instagaming não existe, o Nexus
and keep going. Or there's, these swing bars, you're sprinting, you're parkouring, you jump, you grab the swing bar, you do this gesture, just like you would in real life, which is what VR is all about, right? Trying to simulate the actual experience, and then you keep going in that flow.
Furtividade.
It
Parece
is
ser
a
um jogo
stealth first
fixe.
game, sneaking around, peeking around corners with even something as simple as like grabbing the corner of a building and pulling it.
Imagina jogar este jogo assim. Será que ele está aqui? Pau!
Your camera, your head over and kind of leaning and peeking to see an enemy. We've even built in things like cracks and holes in the walls where you can kind of peek through there, and it's a use of head tracking there, but you feel really sneaky and you're spying on the guards in the other room. In the environments, you'll have dynamic objects, a vase, whatever. You can pick them up, you throw it, it'll crash on the ground and make a sound and distract a guard that way, and you're actually doing the physical throw yourself. One of the features that we've had that we've always been really excited about is the whistling feature. So you do this with the gesture, you make a ring with your hands and you bring it to your mouth area, we're tracking your hand position, and you hear the assassin whistle, and that will call the guard over and you can stab them in the bush and pull them in, or whatever it is that you want to do.
Tchau, Laura, como nome não. Eu joguei os primeiros 4 Assassin's Creed. Isso, ainda joguei depois o quinto, mas já não gostei. O quinto não. O Ezio teve 3 ou teve 4? Porque eu joguei todos do Ezio. Ezio Auditore del Froense. E joguei do Al Nassar. O que era o primeiro.
The hidden blade, I would say, is the most
teve
important
3.
feature in the
Então
game.
foi. O da PlayStation era com o Exia. O da PSP. Não, o da PSP era do Al Nassar.
And really, if I had to pick one.
Era a continuação do 1, acho. O 3 e o 4.
You pull
O 3 e o 4 era o outro que já entrava aos barcos. Eu joguei um bocado, mas não gostei muito.
the top trigger on the
Apesar que dizem que o 3 é o melhor.
controller and you flick your wrist open and the blade comes out. Everybody who tried it, it was always their favorite thing in the game. As we know, Connor and Ezio both have dual hidden blades, so we featured that
Este das Blades é fixe.
in the game.
Mas devia ter melhor qualidade. Dos tempos que estávamos, pá. O VR, o Alpha parecia ter melhor qualidade que isto. Ou se calhar não. Já não jogo há tanto tempo. Tenho de ligar, meter, carregar os óculos VR para fazer umas lives.
But what is really
O problema é que eu não faço porque dá-me sempre problema com o chat. Que eu estou no óculos VR e perco o chat. Depois não consigo ver o chat. Também é indiferente, não é? Porque eu deixei de fazer quando comecei a fazer live no YouTube e na Twitch ao mesmo tempo. Porque eu só consigo ter um chat. E para ter qualidade, mas os FPS. Sim, depois tu com aquilo na cabeça, tu entras e até esqueces. Depois a ver, se calhar a jogar é diferente que a ver. Mas o meu PC também já não aguenta para me dar muitos FPS no jogo.
neat about Nexus is this is the first time that players will
Mas este aqui se calhar deve ser roda direto no Oculus
get
Quest.
to play Cassandra with her hidden blade. And she has just the one blade because we want to, be true to the story, true to the canon, true to the character. Well, there's obviously combat and you can try and fight your way out of situations.
It's really motion control, so you slash your sword, you move yourself.
Isso é fixe, isso é fixe. Vou estar aqui, vou só estar aqui a fazer assim. Contra o microfone. Já na PS4 a PS fazia 120. Mas isto são os jogos Quest. Depois depende do jogo. Eu não sei quanto é que o Alpha faz, mas o Alpha estava bem concebido o jogo.
Forward and back, and you can dodge a bit on the side.
It's really blocking, attacking, and what we call opportunity windows. So when you block, an enemy will
Mas isto nota-se mesmo que não é os FPS, isto é mesmo a forma que o jogo é feito, o design. Parece um jogo de PlayStation 2,
come and
basicamente.
swing their weapon at you and you need to physically put
A
your
ver, depois com aquilo na cabeça é diferente.
sword or tomahawk in the way of it and block just like you would imagine it happening in real life. Then you'll stagger them and create this opportunity window that you can then follow up with strikes and do more damage. We want to create
Isto deve ser fixe é para as lutas de espadas. Mas não consigo jogar assim aqui. Tenho que pegar nos fones wireless, metê-los a carregar, meter-me ali para trás e vira a porca, venha outro. Já não uso esta bué de tempo, nem sei se esta merda funciona. Tem bateria isto. Tem bateria! Já não pego neles para aí há 200 anos e tem bateria. Tchau Laura, como o nome é não. Estas borrachas é que estão ressequidas, pá. Estão a ficar ressequidas. Já tem pá aí 5 anos estes fones, pá. Ainda funciona. Cuidado com eles. Cuidado com eles. Mas vai ser bom para as lives para as lives de coisa. Não nos aparece. Eu acho que os deixei de usar porque em algumas lives eles desapareciam.
this sense of fighting like a master
Tenho que
assassin.
fazer um plano para um dia jogar jogos de BR, outros dias. Dá a ver, porque não está ligado ao PC. O gajo não está ligado ao PC. Ele deve estar se calhar na coisa do jogo. Na coisa do jogo. Deve ser tão fraco porque está com a memória interna do Oculus Quest.
But it's going to take time to learn it because you're actually doing your physical gestures and having to time things. They all have a primary weapon. Connor has a tomahawk, Ezio and Cassandra both have a sword. They all have some kind of ranged weapon. Connor and Cassandra both have bows, and Ezio has a one-handed.
posso comprar o jogo e fazer umas lives disto. Pá, não vou conseguir responder ao chat, depois faço umas paragens de vez em quando e tiro os óculos e respondo ao chat e meto aí uma mensagem. Não consigo ler o chat enquanto estou com os óculos, pá, não sei. Porque dava, mas depois dá-me sempre falha, não é?
Crossbow. They all have throwing knives and smoke bombs. So you feel familiar and comfortable playing these assassins with the sort of core weapon set that they have?
E também tem sempre aquela das mensagens de voz.
But there's also some nice specialization of who they are. So once you've learned the basics of combat as well as the advanced combat moves, you can put this all together and take out a group of enemies Master Assassin style. So for example, you come in from a rooftop, you air assassinate the first enemy, take your throwing knife to finish the second one, pull out your bow, take down the third one, and then draw your sword or tomahawk and engage the last one in combat and finish with a hidden blade lunge. Another iconic AC experience is, of course, air assassination, right? It's really thrilling to do in VR in the first
Deve ser uma sensação de caraças a ir a cair como nos jogos.
person. So
No VR.
there's even some additional nuances that are part of it. So for example, if you're sprinting, your air assassination distance will be increased. So you can sprint to the edge of a rooftop, hit the button, and fly further and have even a more dramatic, long jump kind of kill. Even using the bow as you jump into the air assassination, that slow-mo that we turn on can give
O gajo estava a usar M-bot, é impossível, falhava dali.
you enough time to fire an arrow in midair like a badass master assassin.
So comfort for VR is really
Este gajo é francês, pá.
essential, it's key because we don't want them to feel any nausea. That was a priority
Pá, o Alpha fazia-me ter náuseas.
from the start. Luckily, I've been working on this subject for quite many years. There is lots of options to make full locomotion.
Mas nem me interessa ser esta qualidade assim fraquíssima. Mas depois se o jogo for jogável, pá, é uma coisa que se calhar falta muito aos jogos VR.
In the world comfortable, there is vignetic system, there is a tunnel vision. It's quite effective to make the game comfortable. We also have a teleport locomotion feature which allows to remove completely locomotion through the space if you need or if you
Opa, isto é que eu detesto, eu prefiro andar. Ah, mas também dá
Auto
para andar.
parkour is one that allows basically parkour to be done automatically, so you
Então é automático, o parkour é automático. Melhor é fumar um antes de... para aliviar os enjoos depois, se calhar.
just have to look where you want to go. You are going to see previews of the jumps you're going to make, and you don't need to press buttons, you don't need to do particular actions, but we had to make sure that it still feels like Assassin's Creed and it still feels like you are doing parkour and you are making the choices. You know, also doing the leap of faith. That's amazing.
Está-te a dizer, tu não fazes merda nenhuma, mas nós vamos fazer que tu penses que estás a fazer alguma coisa.
In VR might not be for everyone, or it
Deve. Já o outro de luta e o caraças é fixe.
might be fearful for some people. We developed that feature called Fear of Height, so it allows you to turn on and off some grid to basically show you what's the ground in your real play space. You can even toggle a 3D grid around you, and it
Isto também é uma merda. Não aparece-te assim, para que tu olhas para o chão.
allows you to understand that actually your ground is very close by, so it helps people that might be afraid of heights. Even
Eu quero que essa merda se foda. Então tu vais a saltar e mete ali a petite grid por tu pensares que estás perto do chão. Bah, eu acho que isso pode ser coisas para pessoas que têm medo das alturas, pode ter isso, mas para teres uma imersão completa tens de conseguir tirar isso.
even if you can't reach out, or it's uncomfortable to reach out over your shoulder, or it's uncomfortable for you to hold buttons, or things like that, then we have something for you. We try to really develop many features.
Eu acho que é tudo configurável. Foda-se, é bué diferente aos meus óculos. O meu tem uma câmera aqui e outra aqui. Este o Quest 3, bem da o 2 e eu comprei o 3.
To make the game fun and enjoyable by everyone, through testing of comfort and accessibility of the game, we've seen that almost everyone can be comfortable with the game. There's a
Ok, dá para modificar tudo.
feature for them because we developed lots of comfort features and we developed lots of accessibility features.
Esse jogo já saiu? Story. O mais
And
importante.
people ask the question a lot of like, how do you play 3 assassins in 3 settings in the same game and have it?
Epá, e a história fazer. Pô, tu podes jogar, como já sabemos, a história dos Assassin's Creed em vários tempos de. Vários. Foda-se, não consigo falar já. Em várias épocas diferentes no tempo, por isso pode-se ter um aqui em 2021, um em 1990 e outro em anos 2, não é? Se calhar vai ser isso.
Makes sense narratively. So the idea is that you're an elite player hacker that is undercover for the Brotherhood and is now working for Abstergo. Dominica Wilk is the main character from Abstergo who has you jumping through memories of 3 different assassins who have at some point in their lives encountered these artifacts that Abstergo is looking for. She's actually played by Marina Baccarin, which is really exciting for us. It is a new story. It's not a poor...
Basicamente é uma coisa quando foi o Ectio, ou o Desmond, no caraças.
...of these previous games or assassins. But at the end of the day, the biggest, most fundamental pillar of the game that we want to deliver to fans is becoming a master assassin, right? Physically stepping into the shoes of these characters and performing all those actions you watch your avatar do over the years, physically doing it yourself. And that is the real fantasy of Nexus, is actually being a master assassin yourself.
E ele está a dizer, caguei na história, porque a história não tem nada a ver. Não tem nada a ver. 16 de novembro. Foda-se. E amanhã. E 17 saiu o Naruto. Esquece. Isto fica para o próximo mês.